That's right. Melanie will be back real soon, though. Listen, you guys just wrapped it up nicely. Joe Biden selecting Kamala Harris as his running mate for his bid for the U.S. presidency. For more on the announcement and what is going to happen today. This is the first full day where they've officially teamed up. Let's go live to Washington, where I'm joined by CNN correspondent Nadia Romero. Good morning, Nadia. We're reaching you from Canada, and I wanted you to give us a little perspective, the reaction there. Just how big is this pick? What is the historical significance of it all?
Well, good morning to you. And it is a historic pick, right? Being the first woman, the first black woman, the first Asian woman to be picked on a major party's ticket for a nomination. So this is a huge historic moment. But of course, politics will always be a factor. So when you ask people on the left side of the aisle, the Democrats, they're looking at this as a moment for all women to say that we just broke through a glass ceiling, that little black girls and little Asian girls that are seeing Kamala Harris can see themselves in her and potentially reaching one of the highest positions in this country. On the other side of the aisle, the attack ads are already out from the Trump campaign yesterday, labeling her as phony and calling out some of her previous records as a prosecutor and saying that she is this most liberal senator in the Senate right now, which excludes the fact that we have Senator Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and others. And her record isn't as liberal as we're hearing conservatives try to make it out to be. So the attack ads are already out, and people are responding on both sides of the aisle, looking at Kamala Harris, who was once a presidential candidate in her own right, but did have a failing push during that primary season, now is on the ticket with Joe Biden, and she is basically the opposite of Joe Biden, a woman of color coming from the state of California. He's hailing from Delaware, and Joe Biden really needed to have a running mate that was his opposite, because we had the most diverse pool of Democratic nominees, but it dwindled down to this one person who is a male, an older male, heterosexual, a Christian male, who we've seen so many times in American politics. Kamala Harris is the opposite of that.
And I love what you said there about little girls, especially little girls of color, seeing this announcement and it really hitting home for them. It is so special. Today's a big day. Tee it up. What can we expect from Biden and Harris as we see them together for the first time?
This will be an interesting moment. Really, the last time Joe Biden had a big rally before the coronavirus shut everything down in this country was a rally with Senator Kamala Harris in Michigan. So now he's coming out again months later as his running mate pick. So maybe that was a window giving us a clue as to who he might pick many months ago. But we'll see them coming out today in a social distancing way, perhaps wearing masks. We're not entirely sure what that event will look like, but they will be hand in hand, side by side. When Biden announced that it would be Kamala Harris, he did so in a Zoom virtual call, which so many people are doing now in the midst of the pandemic. But this will be the first time that they will be side by side. And this will also be an opportunity for conservatives, for Trump supporters and the Trump campaign to wait for any gaffes or any moments that they could use to their advantage.
And I wonder what the kind of early indications are. You've touched on it a little bit already, what the positioning is from the other side. How they see Kamala Harris as their competitor and their kind of plan to compete with her.
Well, the plan seems to not be, at least not everyone seems to be on the same page right now. Some calling her very liberal, others saying she was too tough as a prosecutor. You can't be both. So it looks like over the next couple of days, we'll likely see conservatives and the Trump campaign figuring out a way to have a clear message against Kamala Harris. And right now, they're still developing what that will look like.
Nadia Romero from CNN joining us live from Washington. Thanks so much for that. Plenty more coming your way on BT. We'll be right back after the break.